This season of Clown World is getting better and better. Oh, yeah. It's going to be interesting to witness where we're headed. And I have a very deep lesson today. When you see where we're headed, and you could almost see the you could almost see the car crash coming ahead of time, and to see a crazy statistic, when you I guess they're comparing entertainment. Onlyfans generates higher revenue than TKO Group, which is WWE and UFC Combined. And this statistic is going to be the main focus of today's very powerful podcast. And where is the world headed? So we have a tremendous one in store for you. It's phenomenal, even the WrestleMania alone. WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl, and to really wake up today, and we could see that the generation that we're in, and how OnlyFans generates more revenue than all of WWE, right? Picture some people are wrestling fans that are tuned in, right? And then you also have the UFC Ultimate Fighting. Some people go for the they watch the UFC championship bouts. So I want everyone to get this in their head before we get into this very powerful lesson today. Everything combined, OnlyFans generates 4 times the amount. 4 times the amount from all of that added all up. So that was a very interesting statistic that I saw, and it's going to be the focal point for today's lesson. So we have a very powerful podcast to discuss today. I'm so grateful for everyone coming on. Hit the like button. It pushes this out. Absolutely, Scott. It's going to be a very deep lesson today. So the more people that hit the like button, maybe you share this today. And where are we headed as society? And I take the pulse of society. Certain people that I'll be bringing up. Like even I saw a post on Facebook from a married woman raising a question that her husband, she caught her husband has a OnlyFans subscription. And she wants to know what to do about it. So we have a lot of stuff to go down this tremendous rabbit hole today, and it really shines a light for the problems. People keep asking me, why is Clown World clowning? I'm gonna teach you today. It's an incredible time to really sit back and witness this all. So results of social media data for 2025-2026 period shows that TKO, which is WWE and UFC Combined, generates $1.7 billion in revenue. OnlyFans generates $7 billion in revenue. So OnlyFans, literally destroys and eviscerates one of the top entertainments in the world. And this really shines a light for a lot of where we are in the world, the problems that we're witnessing, and it's a lot of it's a lot of stuff to bring up. You're going to learn throughout this episode, IQ Foundation. All right, so people ask. I see a lot of other single men in this modern broken society. You might be a single man, you're tuned into this. The modern woman has been enabled by the weak man. And I've shared this many times. Weak men create tough times, and here we are. I have a friend in the gym. He's an older guy. And, we were talking one day, and he tells me, he goes, Mike, my niece does this, and, he said, yeah, she makes all this money and it goes on all these lavish vacations. And he looks at me, and he's a very, very sharp man. And he goes to me, he goes, it's amazing. Guys my age, they work their entire life just to give them all their money. It's tremendous where society is today. And when we sit back, all of this is allowed to pan out. If you're a single man in a modern society, there is a lot of brokenness. You can't go out anymore. It's not like how it used to be. And part of this, chat that I'm going to have is really about what is normal. What's a normal part of life? What's which has been lost. Years ago, when you not all these, the modern woman broads that they are now, that was not part of the whole equation when you went out there in the dating world, Oh, do you sell your body on OnlyFans? That's another. This is why your dating pool is getting smaller and smaller, fellas. If you're the divine feminine, you might want to, take one of your lost soul, little, girls that like haven't lost everything yet, because there's something that you will lose when you go on this path. You could sit them down. You could put Uncle Mike. You put me right on the screen for them. How you doing? What is normal for life? Years ago, maybe if you're a woman, and I'm going to be sharing about the sides for both men and women in this video. And some people might get triggered from this talk today, and this is the actual work that we have to really focus on. If you're a woman and you go about life, and it's one thing, maybe you go out to the club, right? You meet a guy on a dating app, right? And it didn't pan out, right? And this all happens. Oh, I went to the club, I hooked up with the guy, and you feel, terribly, he just left you in the dust, right? And you feel it. So that's normal in life. That's actually normal. Our life is not, we're supposed to go out in the world. We learn about guys and gals, compare and contrast, and what you are going to head towards, right? So for you, maybe you felt the weak beta male. You felt that simp, and through compare and contrast, you learned and you could know what a real divine masculine is. Right? That's normal. But when you go out on the internet and you actually sell your body, you lost the war for your soul, kid. You lost the war for your soul. Robert, we discussed that. Yeah, I know a lot of men dealt with that, okay? And that's why when you go out in the world and you're seeing that the dating pool is small, so what about the divine feminine? Maybe you're going out there, right? And you say, are you dating a guy that partakes in this? So when we reflect on the ebbs and flows, it is a societal problem. It's a deep, it's ingrained in society, where if you can't break free of it, it becomes your frequency. So, maybe there's, girls out there and you think that this is, normal. This actually becomes your frequency over time. So there are women in the world and you're outperforming that. And that's cool. Wow, isn't that amazing? They're outperforming all of WWE. They are outperforming all of the UFC fighters, everything combined. I want everyone to really reflect on that today. And that's cool. But what about your soul? You can make all the money today. And I've seen this with the modern woman, they're not, really following the natural order. Then they complain later in life. Then you're broken down. Then you question yourself, why are you, in your 40s or 50s and still doing this? So when you partake in these things, and again, it's easy. It's the low-hanging fruit. Years ago, people would just say, you know what? I want to get ahead on social media, right? And it's, maybe the lusting pictures and so on and so forth, the filters. But now it's gone to that's $7 billion, Source Shield. $7 billion with a B. It's a tremendous. So, when I saw that, I said, you know what? This is a great topic to, really dive into today. Jen writes, she sees the it's a spiral, for both men and women. It's not, when you go about your everyday life, all right, you could go out, you could meet people, so on and so forth. But when it becomes transactional, that's not authentic. That's not right. And that's what it's become. Girls are on dating websites right now. They're just actually selling their body. Follow me on OnlyFans. And people will line up. So when you're out there, you might be a divine masculine and you're single and you stay away from these, you have respect for yourself. And people could ask you and question you and say, why are you still single? And this is the broken world that we're actually living in. Because it's at a different, sometimes maybe your parents, right? Older people are not like understanding the world that we live in. Years ago, you just might meet someone. Oh, I like you. You like me. You're in shape. You're this and that. It's a totally different world now. It's a totally different world. And weak men create tough times. If you didn't watch my my motivational speech, The Path of the Warrior, and I say it's always you. When we get into these positions, what I discuss on this channel are the subconscious programs that you are going to develop earlier on in life. You develop these programs, and now society is being programmed. Right? So a lot of these modern women are being programmed that this is what I need to do. Who are they enabled by? They are enabled by the weak beta male, the simps of the world. Here, take my money. If you can't control your lust, it's an ingrained problem. And this is why we're failing as a society. It's incredible. WrestleMania is coming up. And to think about, and when I was younger and WrestleMania was such a big thing. They had a big show and everything. To think about everything, something similar level to the size of the Super Bowl, and all the events, all the everything, and then you're realizing that it's also all of the Ultimate Fighting Championships when you combine everything from TKO Group, and you put them side by side, you could see the bigger picture of where we are in society. So you have 7 billion for OnlyFans, and you have 1.7 billion for both of those combined. Over the course of your life, these things become your frequency. And, I could tell today, this ain't my first rodeo. I could see that, some people, they don't want to hear this, and that's all right. Because this is always going to become you at the end of the day. And I shared this. At the end of the day, it's when your head hits the pillow at night. And, even if you go back to a pre-2020 world, it's very different. It's very different than, how it was in the past. And you lose yourself. And a lot of people have lost themselves. And none of this is actually, it's not going to last. I know people, I think we just glitched the live chat. So you could hit 555, hit the like button. That's what happens when you do these topics. You know, I'll pull you up on another device. But when I saw that yesterday, and we have a tremendous Facebook community, and to see, and to see that post, to see there's women in the world, and you see this and you say, oh wow, this guy has this subscription and have all these subscriptions. You could hear your friend, could articulate it to you. You worked your whole life just to give it away to the Jezebel spirit, and that's a big part of the world that we live in the United States. It's programmed that way. I got you up on the other device here. We're always glitching sometimes when the chat, it is a big topic. It shows it's a big topic, and it's a deeply troublesome situation, and it kind of shines a light on the different levels and tiers of what you have to navigate in a modern society. So it's not just dealing with everything's just going to glitch today, I guess. It's not just dealing with everyday life stuff anymore. It's dealing with the war for your soul, and that was a deep conversation that we had, and how you lose yourself. And I'm here to tell you all, if you're able to pull back and you're comfortable sitting with yourself, you gain your freedom, and you'll never lose that war for your soul. It's that time period where your head hits the pillow at night. And when you're able to go through that process, and what really matters in life, and I could see this, I feel this as well, the vast difference, and when you realize the truth behind people and what they're doing, when you go through an awakening, none of these things affect you. I've talked to many friends, and what a lot of modern women don't get, you'll never be comfortable. You'll get plenty of beta males. They'll line up. They're actually on the bottom of the totem pole of the hierarchy of society. It's the weakest of the weak. It's on the floor. And for any woman that is hearing me today, you'll get plenty of them. But your soul later in life, it's always about your soul. It will continue to stir, and that's why the times that we live in right now, there are many awakened people, and you could say to yourself, you know what, something is missing. Something's missing from life, and it will never be fulfilled. And that's why when you start these things, there was another post recently too. It was on Facebook, the LAD Bible girl. Everyone's full of crap, and 19 years old, and she started Onlyfans, and however many millions of dollars they made in like a day or two. It just shows you what the problem is in the world. And I could see the feedback from today's lesson, and if it resonates for you and what I'm sharing today, you could click the like button and share this to someone that needs to hear it. But you can't spiritual bypass these things. If you're a man, and if you're able to not fall for these, if it doesn't affect you, you thrive in this society. You literally thrive in this society. While others can't, they just literally can't stop it. And this is the loop, and this becomes the embodiment. And this is what I've shared. It becomes your frequency over time. If you're, a girl and that's because everyone else is doing it and making money. And that's, it's funny. I was talking to a few other guys and, we're focused on what we're creating this year and, how we're building things and, joking around how some of these girls, that's all they have to do. And they'll generate so much money. Now we actually have the data. So to really reflect on it today, and I know a lot of people are, questioning, say, why is the world in the situation that it is now? Just think about that could generate 4 times the amount of revenue that all of WWE and all of UFC combined. And you know what? We'll leave it at that today. And if this message resonates with you, I appreciate if you click the like button, share the video, and we're going to move forward in the upcoming days, really diving into some of these very interesting topics because people keep asking, what's the problem in the world? So you could look at that statistic and start figuring it out. If the simps of the world, they want to give up their wallets, all right, ladies, drain those wallets. This is the world that we live in. And, I could see it more and more when words like this aren't heard. No one, people see this, like no one cares anymore. No one cares. So Albert Einstein said, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those that watch them without doing anything. A lot of people don't want to address the problems. And, some people, they just, we had a very powerful talk the other day. It really shines a light, and I could see it right now. So I'm very grateful for all of you. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. You should really check out yesterday's video. It's actually exploding right now because in the upcoming days, people will literally lose their minds. And maybe if something like this is triggering to a person, we're going to see a lot in the upcoming days. I'm grateful for the community support. Click the like button, share this video today, and it's really going to shine a light to future things that are about to happen in this world. I think that, we've all reached a place where, society is literally at this breaking point right now. How much more can it sustain? So if these are your behaviors, and this is what I teach on this channel. So if you're a person that made it through this talk, I know maybe it might be a very triggering talk to you. You will be a successful man in life if you don't fall for these things. If you are the modern woman and you do these things, you're done. Long term. And that's everything in life. Even when I see some of the boys in the gym, and they always think short term. And that's what I teach people. If you want to be, it's long-term health. These are the things you have to focus on. Celestial Gatekeeper, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful. We glitched a live stream today, so it must be a powerful one, right? But sometimes it's about really speaking the truth, speaking your mind, and any woman that reflects on it, like it shows the life. Who are you actually with? Are you actually loved in your everyday life, or is it transactional? Or is that guy just there? It's just like a waste. Or does that girl love you, brother? Does that girl actually love you? Or what is she actually there for? When you start to question these things, and that's what this topic today is really all about. It's actually for your awakening. I've seen a lot of men over the years, start to wake up to these concepts. Does she even care about you, bro? Or is it just about the ego? Or what she can extract from you, bro? Does he even unconditionally care about you, sis? And what's actually going on? We sit in the world. And that's why men like me are single. And maybe there's women that are tuned into this. And there's your beta male. And what is he doing? So I know People might get triggered, but this is the world, and it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to where we are in society. And I hope that if you are a man or a woman, when it comes to that topic, and if you want to learn more about healthy relationships, because many relationships are not healthy. No, they're not healthy at all. And even though if you don't want to admit it, that's why I talk about these things. And sometimes we have to have that epiphany. And sometimes, we need to have the hard talk. And when we could see a statistics like that, maybe there's a guy out there that will wake up and do better with their life. I'm telling you, if you're able to do these things, your life exponentially changes. That's why I'm focused. I'm focused every single day, and it doesn't matter. But if you can't, if that's what you have to do, and again, it's not about going out there. We all want an attractive girl, fellas, right? But we're not paying for her attention. It comes from a different place. Is something that I've been sharing over the years. It comes from a different place. And just like taking this and just applying it to life. You should not be chasing, the modern woman, which is just a waste of your time. You spend your time chasing them around. You lose yourself. You're only focused on the woman that reports to your bedroom, period. It's the answer. It's the answer. All the time. So if anyone does hear this and it can help people break free of it, and I get a lot of the modern women are stubborn and they see it, and it's just the negative loop of society. So they'll see more of it and they say, "Wow, I can make all this money," but you lost your soul, right? So the money is short term, and this is something that I teach on this channel. But what's the long-term foundation? It's the low-hanging fruit. So these are the things to focus and think about. What is actually part of life? Meeting people, we make mistakes. That's no big deal. But and that was not part of the world really even 10 years ago. Now you have a whole other thing that influence everyday life. That's what we discuss here. We discuss everyday life. This is everyday life. Then I talk to other single friends and people think who they are. So now it's part of the whole system. I know some people don't want to address it. I'll address it. I love to address the elephant in the room. This is why we are where we are. And when you do these behaviors, this becomes embodiment, and then later in life, then you'll complain about it. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be this topic or anything. People always go for the low-hanging fruit. I share this because I teach health and wellness on this channel. Take this thing, you'll get big, you'll get this and that. You don't even have to work out. In the end, it's always the embodiment. It's always the long-term frequency. And if you're able to sustain a frequency for a period of time, then your life finally changes. But there's just too much distraction, and people are losing themselves. So I saw this very interesting statistic, and it literally, if you just focus on that one statistic, it speaks volumes to where we are, and why clown world is clowning. Okay, if you missed yesterday's episode, check it out. It's really exploding. It really kind of takes everything that is going on and puts it into one very powerful talk. Because, listen, I mean, think about it. Think about it. All of a sudden, it's like an addiction to these things. And then, we saw that with some of the celebrities when all of a sudden they weren't getting attention. Some people, are just addicted to that attention. And there you are, giving it to them, paying all the money. So I appreciate those that listen to the end. Leave a comment down below if you'd like me to break down some more of these topics. And we do daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And I like to, really discuss what society is actually dealing with. I know there's some people out there that don't like to actually talk. This is what's actually going on in the world. And more people are kind of pulling back from society and not really partaking in these things anymore. So I love you all, and check out some of the videos on the channel page. You can connect on Facebook. We have new posts all day long over there as well. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Love you guys. Bye for now.